always got to do my head bob whenever whenever I do this.
Really good music.
It's that bass that comes through.
Yeah.
So, hi Debbie, how's it going?
Hi, Colin. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for hopping on. It's a great pleasure. Where are you calling from today?
Oh, Sherman Oaks, California.
Awesome, awesome. LA County, so
Yes,
not too
LA.
far away from us.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. I know today we're going to be talking about the Ultimate Vegan Health and Weight Loss Bundle. But before we get into that, we are meeting for the first time, which is really, really cool. Whenever we do these bundles, we're meeting great collaborators and contributors for this that you don't normally would. And it's great, just for the networking. So since we're new to each other, why don't we go and introduce ourselves? Tell us, who you are, what you've been, doing, why you're so passionate, and what are you cooking nowadays?
Oh, okay. I'm Debbie Adler, and I came into this lifestyle about 7 years ago. I was vegan for many, many years before that, but I really was transformed when I went to the International Healthcare Nutrition Plant. I always say the words wrong in the wrong order. A plant-based nutrition healthcare conference, and the likes of Dr. Gregor Esselstyn, all the people, Dr. Campbell, who wrote the China study, spoke about how they go about the plant-based lifestyle and how it, helps prevent and reverse disease. And I was hooked from the very beginning. I was very excited. I said, okay, well, for me, it was just a matter of, well, I'm vegan, but I do use oil. I saute in oil. Okay, I'm going to eliminate those oils and salt and sugar. I wasn't putting sugar in anything anyway. I have a vegan bakery. And so that's been going on for about 15 years already, 16 years. Oh, maybe it's more than that. I lost count. 2005. So it's more than that. 18 years. I don't know. 18 years, I think. And so I always knew about the sugar that is bad for you. So Sweet Debbie's was always sugar-free and vegan. And then after the conference, it became no oil, no sugar, no salt. So I figured that out. And then my second cookbook, Sweet, Savory, and Free, was published by the publisher of the China study. My first book was about my bakery, all the baked goods from the bakery. It's called Sweet Debbie's Organic Treats. And then my third cookbook, The Mediterranean Plate, just came out, and that's this. That came out in October. And so my goal is to teach. I teach plant-based cooking. I have courses. I have meal plans, seasonal meal plans that people could buy whenever it's a different season. I come out with a new meal plan, and I hope that people can enjoy recipes without any animal protein, and it's much better for their health.
Awesome. Awesome. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Dr. Colin Zhu. I'm the founder of TheChefDoc 6 years ago, and a physician by trade. And basically what we do here at TheChefDoc is we help coach and teach others learning how to thrive. And we do this by 3 ways: Thrive Medicine, Lifestyle Medicine, and Culinary Medicine. We share that culinary aspect. Debbie, my first question to you is, was it hard? Because baking is, a lot of, just precise measurements. And then when you're adding the SOS free, the oil free, was it a lot harder to transition when you, after you went through that conference?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yes, the oil was a little bit challenging, but actually once I realized that all you need is a puree, then you're good. So depending on what it is, obviously, if it's a banana muffin, you're putting in banana puree. If it's a pumpkin muffin, you're putting in pumpkin puree. That's your oil. But if it's something else that's not so obvious, then yeah, it becomes a little bit of a challenge. But I love challenges, and I always figure it out. There has never been a time that I haven't figured it out. So it's usually a puree or a yogurt, like a dairy-free yogurt. And that takes care of it. It's really very simple once you realize that these things work, and you just have to figure out the amounts, and you've got yourself a delicious oil-free, sugar-free dessert.
Yeah, yeah. What I love about the cooking process is, and I tell people, and I big advocate of going back into the kitchen to take back your health, and anything outside your household is really just outsourcing. So, because you know what goes into your own ingredients and recipes, and you are paying attention to more of these wholesome ingredients that we're talking about. For you, Debbie, did was it a during this transition, when you decided to go, because you said that you're originally, vegan, then you went whole food plant-based, were you met with some personal health challenges? And if not, what was it about what you've learned that was profound and poignant enough for you to make this switch for your clients?
I didn't have any health challenges, but Dr. Esselstein had his patients up on stage with him who had issues with their hearts and were a day away from heart not transplant, bypass surgery. And he said, well, let's do 3 weeks whole food plant-based, and let's take it from there. And sure enough, after 3 weeks of a whole food plant-based diet, his patients did not need any surgery. Their arteries cleared naturally. And I was floored. It got me so excited because, you worry about things like that as you get older and you think, oh my God, what happens if this happens and that happens? But a lot of your destiny has to do with the way you eat, your lifestyle. You're in control of it. A lot of people don't realize that, oh, as everyone gets older, yeah, we get sick. No, you don't have to get sick. You don't have to. You could just eat well and exercise, and you're not going to get sick. You could live till you're 100 and not get sick. It's just that easy. So just because of the potential, I was very excited, and I came home and I told my physician husband about this. He wasn't with me because he had to watch our son. And, of course, it was coming from me. He wasn't there. So he was skeptical because I was like, jumping up and down saying, you should tell your patients they should do this. And he was like, well, not all the time. It's not. And so a year later, he was approached by one of his residents. And they said, Dr. Adler, I think we should talk to our patients about going on a whole food plant-based diet. And he said, oh, talk to my wife. And that was it. That was when my husband started to believe in it, and he, like a total 180.
Did he join you on the conferences afterwards
No.
to like learn the information himself?
Oh, he learned the information himself, by reading, and actually, like a year or two after I went initially, he started to see it in his magazines, like you see stacked behind me.
Yeah.
Those are his magazines, and they're a lot of the journals you probably read.
Yeah.
And the scientific studies started to come out about it. All the New England Journal of Medicine, all the really very legitimate science magazines started to write about this. How the studies show and prove that this is a lifestyle that will help help reverse and prevent disease. And so that is when he really started to believe it and be on board with it. So now he goes that way, as well, he has to because he eats my food, but like I cook. But anyway, but now he's like a believer. Like he's not doing it just to eat good food. He's doing it because he believes it.
Nice. Yeah, I would say, to that point, I'm not surprised by this, by what you just said, because it wasn't that long ago. Less than a quarter of all medical schools require a nutritional course. And mine personally only offered maybe 10 credit hours in nutrition. It was mostly biochemistry. And so that, during that time, it's gotten a lot better since for my school. And, during that time, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have gone through the different detours that I had, gone through. But we are, witnessing a huge shift in terms of the medical school and residency training in terms of offering that type of education. And so, there will be help. He's not the only one. He's definitely not alone. Debbie, what kind of recipes do your cookbooks, offer? And is it easy to implement? Does it take long? I get a lot of patients, the biggest common misconceptions or barriers for them is really time, not knowing what to buy and how to kind of, navigate it. How do you address this with your clients?
Well, first of all, my recipes aren't that complicated. It's if I always say if you can read, you could cook. It's a matter of just getting the ingredients. They're usually not that much. And even if it is a long list, I know people are intimidated with long lists. It's usually spices, because you have to somehow substitute what you're taking out with good spices, so you actually have a good tasting meal. So
Mhm.
if you just see a list of spices, people get intimidated. It's just spices. Just go into your cabinet, grab the spices. That's half your list. And then
Mhm.
you get the other things, which are very readily available now. Every store has them. I mean, maybe 10 years ago they didn't, but now every store has every possible thing you can imagine. And you just read the read the directions, and it's very easy. And if you want to get organized around making it during the week, if you're working and come home late, then you
Mhm.
just do it on the weekends. You prep on the weekends. I have a course on how to prep, and it's very easy. Take an hour or two on a Sunday or a Saturday, and you put on good music, and you dance in your kitchen, and you do your prep work, and it's in the fridge, and you can just take it out, dump it in your plate, heat it up, and you're done for the week. You have your meals, and it's delicious, and there's no stress because you're doing it on the weekend. The work is on the weekend. And then and it's delicious, and you feel better too.
Exactly.
You just feel better.
I like what you said about, putting on some music and dancing and cooking. And I think those are the best combinations, to
Mhm.
do. And because it's, we all, love food. I would say, well, I wouldn't say that. There are two camps. You either eat to live or live to eat. And food, we need it, not just to survive, but also to thrive. But it means something different for every single one of us. But I definitely resonate with what you said in terms of, associating it and pairing it with, great things, your loved ones, music, dancing, things like that. Debbie, this is a, great thing that we're doing, together, in terms of the bundle, right? And
Yeah.
so for those of you who, are hearing this for the first time, it is a virtual bundle that has over 100 different types of contributions. So you have ebooks and recipes. I think over 2,000 recipes,
Yep.
video courses, audio courses. There's fitness, classes as well. We don't just talk about food. And what are you contributing for this year's bundle?
So I contributed a 21-day weight loss meal plan, which actually is really not for weight loss, but it could be. It's so good though that I even made a green smoothie. It's not a smoothie; it's a soup. It's a green get me lean soup that I've been sipping on. That's from the bundle. It's my contribution. It's one of the things, and it's so delicious that I have it almost every day because it's easy. I have it in the fridge. I could just warm it up. And I also contributed a 28-day ebook, 28 days of signature smoothies. That's an ebook as well. And you could just make them for breakfast or after you work out. They're really interesting, and I have some interesting ingredients and spices that people love. So that's my contribution. What about you?
I'm contributing two things. One is a whole food plant-based one-on-one transition course. So it's an hour long. It is an audio course actually, and so it helps people who are curious on not knowing how to set up everything. And I think, food is not just the only thing you need to consider. You got to prep your kitchen. You got to figure out how to navigate the supermarket, things like that. So, I teach how to prep your, freezer, fridge, pantry, how to navigate a supermarket because, for those that don't know, not, supermarket is actually very strategic and everything is well designed in terms of either for success or, not being successful, AKA all the different junk food that and processed food that you can encounter. And then, how to, your go-to utensils and appliances. My second contribution is a 21-day challenge based off of my book, Thrive Medicine. And Thrive Medicine is part, self-memoir and also part self-empowerment. And if we've learned anything from this pandemic, mental health is, very, very paramount to be able to address. And hopefully we continue this notion of knowing that it's no longer a taboo and stigma to really talk about. And so the book is really about, steps, action steps, and strategies on shifting towards a positive mindset. And so I recorded a video companion to that. So people can access both of those in my new app. And the contributions give you instructions on how to access it.
Oh, great. Oh, I can't wait.
Debbie, it's been a pleasure. Do you have any parting last words in terms of what people should anticipate for the bundle?
Well, I highly recommend getting the bundle because it is really, I mean, we may sound like used car salesmen here, but it's like the best value that you can get in any way, shape, or form. The most elite doctors and chefs and influencers, bloggers have contributed the best work that they do, and it's in the bundle. And individually, they will be selling their individual products for way more than $49. And for $49, you get everything. So I think this is the deal of the century. And I could only say that because I've been going through it, because I'm just so curious about it. And I'm already transforming. I cannot believe the quality of the material. So I would say get the bundle. You won't regret it. It's only $49. It's going away Sunday, and it will never be the same because it's not coming back after Sunday.
Exactly. So, exactly February 12th, 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. And, the cost is only one time. You get more than $6,000 worth of value, and you get it to keep for a lifetime. So I would probably say, paying the money and downloading it is not the hard part. The hard part is actually implementing it. So, if you're approaching this new year with, new milestones, new beginnings, and just wanting to take back your health or starting a plan to really fortify it, right? Being that we're in the pandemic and, we've learned that fortifying, your foundational health is important. I would say, hop on it and, you have Debbie, you have me, you have all these amazing contributors, and you have options to see what resonates with you, so you don't have to do everything, but I would highly recommend that, you start somewhere. So, Debbie, thank you so much for hopping on. Great pleasure. Thank you so much for contributing. You're amazing. I definitely got to stop by your bakery.
Yes.
It's still there, right? Is it in Sherman Oaks?
We ship. We actually ship and deliver. So you don't have to go anywhere. You just order online. It comes to you. Awesome. So yeah, it goes overnight to you. So you don't have to leave your house. Yeah. So, but yeah, this was fun. It was good getting to know you. And I look forward to looking at all your stuff in the bundle because it sounds amazing. So,
oh, thank you very much. And you as well. So,
thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you inside. Okay. Bye, Debbie.
Bye-bye.